Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back to the Bhagavad Gita Study Circle. We are in 135th session of the Bhagavad Gita Study Circle, and we are discussing chapter 12. We are on the last session of the chapter 12 today. There are 18, 19, and 20th verses which are going to be discussed today in this session. We have covered 17 verses in the previous sessions, and this is very important uh, chapter because it is Bhakti Yoga directly related to something that we are already practicing. And this is the path that we have chosen, and that is Bhakti Yoga, because this is the process mentioned in the scriptures for this Kali Yuga. This is the most suitable thing that we can practice in the Kali Yuga, and that is Bhakti Yoga. Because Bhakti Yoga is very much applicable to the people of Yuga, of this particular Yuga, because these are certain very important verses where we need to understand the practicality of what we can do and understand, and how we can apply them in our life, because other things are really not applicable to us. The Jnana Yoga, to some extent, we can understand, but Karma Yoga, we are all have no understanding of karma. So most people really don't understand much of Karma Yoga. They just know that work is worship, and they can keep doing whatever work they want. So Bhakti Yoga is very much applicable to us, and Bhakti Yoga actually includes all of the other yogas. So the stress is given by Prabhupada on this particular bhakti, because all other aspects will automatically get covered in Bhakti Yoga. That's why devotees are called Daksha, perfect. We understood that in the previous verses also, that Krishna himself is saying that the devotees are Daksha. Why? Because they are perfect, because they are practicing Bhakti Yoga. Right? So we will continue today and understand more about what Krishna is expecting from the devotees. Right? So we have Achyutanji also joining us. Thank you so much, Achyutanji, for joining. So let's begin with the pranam mantras. Kindly join your palms and you can chant along with me the pranam mantras. Let's dedicate this session to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON and my beloved spiritual master. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapreshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Hare Krishna. So in all the previous verses, we have understood wonderful things about the qualities of a devotee. So these are some previous verses. You know how the devotee is Yasman no Rujate Loko. He is one who never disturbs people, nor he gets disturbed by people. Harsha, Amarsha, Bhaya, Udvega, he is free from all these things. Then he is also Anapekshaha, never desires for something that is constantly, he never desires for any material thing. He is clean, he is expert, he is Udasina, Gatavyataha, Sarvaramba Parityagi, right? And he is also one who is Narishyati Nadveshti. He is never elated or distressed, never he hankers for something, nor he is lamenting for something that is material. Shubha Shubha Parityagi. So he's also Shubha or Ashubha. good or bad, who knows? We understood this through that story of a farmer, right? So, good or bad, we really don't know what. So, he is always equipoised in every situation in life. So, we had covered until verse number 17, and in this session, let us begin and understand verse number 18 and 19 and then 20. This was also another analogy that we understood, that how when there is darkness, all these different vikaras that come into picture. When there's darkness, we want light, and you know, lighting lamp is what gives us joy. We become rishyati, we become very happy. Then if somebody comes and blows it off, then again we become distressed, not dveshti. We are devotees are never having that dvesha. And again, the desire, puna desire, uh, that hankering is there, the sochati is there, that oh yes, I should light up the lamp again. So like that, there are many wonderful things that we understood in the previous session. And today we will begin with verse number 18. So Hina Mataji, you can unmute yourself. Let's chant the 18th verse. 18th and 19th together. Samashatrau cha mitre cha
समसत्रौ च मित्रे च
तथा मानापमानयो
तथा मानापमानयो
शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखेषु
शीतोष्ण सुखदुःखेषु
समसंगा विवर्जितः.
समसङ्गविवर्जितः.
Wonderful. Also the 19th verse. Let's do that. तुल्य निंदा स्तुतिर्मौनी
तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी
संतुष्टो येन केनचित्
सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित्
अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिर्
अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिर्
भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः.
भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः.
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
One who is equal to friends and enemies, one who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who does not care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge, and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So, very interesting qualities Krishna is explaining in this verse, and we will discuss them one by one. We also have Vinodji joining us. Thank you so much, Vinodji, for joining. So, these are some very important qualities which Krishna is saying that are very dear to me. So, there are about 9 qualities that Krishna is explaining here, and very important to know. So, what is that? First is Sama Shatraucha Mitrecha. So, a devotee is equal to friends and enemies. So, it is not so easy to be equal to friends and enemies. The same way you look up to your friend, the same way you need to also look up at your enemy is not so easy task at all. See, practically, it's very easy to say, but very difficult to follow. Even the slightest envy within us will not allow us to actually make a good friendship with enemies. It's not possible, or at least friendship is other thing. Just to be equal with the enemies is not so easy. Why? Because we are still not free from lust, greed, anger, envy. So we should know that external enemies are one thing, but internal enemies, these lust, greed, anger, envy, pride, illusion, all these things which are there within us, these are the real enemies. Now, if we are able to conquer these internal enemies, then it is possible to be equal to both friends and enemies. Because we have still not defeated the enemies within, we are still not able to look equally the enemies without. It's very difficult, right? Now, that is why a devotee, because he is free from within, from lust and anger, it is easy for that devotee to see things as they are and equally treat both friends and enemies. Now, a devotee, because he is samashatraucha mitrecha, doesn't mean that he doesn't have enemies. No, people may still take a devotee to be an enemy, just like Prahlad Maharaj. Hiranyakashipu was thinking him to be an enemy. Oh, my own son, he's my enemy. That is how the people, the demoniac people, or at least people who have those demonic tendencies, may and will consider the devotee to be an enemy. So a devotee may be equal to everyone and may not have any enmity with anyone, but doesn't mean that he will not have enemies. People may think him to be an enemy, and it is in the case of so many examples of devotees are there. You see Haridas Thakur, he was beaten in 22 marketplaces. Um, there were he is what wrong has he done to anyone? But still he was beaten, right? Prahlad Maharaj, nothing, but still he underwent so much problems, right? So this is always a case. Devotees will be harassed. Devotees will be given trouble. And just like in now the recent buzz, we know that how so many people have given their lives for building the Ram temple in Ayodhya. How many? Last 500 years, the battle is going on. And tomorrow, finally, is going to be a very grand event. Such a mega festival across India. Every temple will be so much lit up with joy and lights and so many things welcoming Lord Rama. Isn't it? We are also doing a wonderful Ram Tarak Yajna in the evening tomorrow here in the temple. The point is, they were devotees. They were just wanting to worship Lord Rama, but yes, there were enemies. They didn't want people to worship Lord Rama, right? So, and that goes on. It goes on like that. So, but devotee is samashatraucha mitrecha. He is equal to everyone. The fine example is from the Mahabharata. We all know that this Duryodhana, this Dushta Duryodhana, he actually abandoned all these Pandavas to the forest. So in the Vanaparva, this pastime comes that how when the Pandavas were roaming in the forest, this Duryodhana wanted to show off all his wealth and see how I am so victorious now. He took along with him Shakuni and Karna and all his other brothers, and he is having a party time in front of all these Pandavas and enjoying himself in the forest and trying to show off all the strength. Then that is when this Duryodhana encounters this Gandharva, and he had to fight with the Gandharva. Karna ran away and everybody else ran away, and this Duryodhana was captured by the Gandharva. And then Yudhishthira, he says, Bhima and Arjuna, both of you go and free him up. See, although Duryodhana is an enemy, at least Duryodhana considers that Pandavas are my enemy. But Yudhishthira is saying, Samashatraucha mitrecha. He has actually, sent us to this exile, to the forest. He is considering us as enemies, but we will not behave like him. We will not consider him as an enemy. And see, Samashatrocha Mitrecha. Yudhishthira says, you go and free him from this Gandharva and release him. Just see, this is Yudhishthira. This is the nature of a devotee. We have to be like that. And Sama Manapamanayo. So there will be a lot of situations in life where people will actually glorify us. And at the same time, there'll be people who will try to consider us as enemies. And the best example is again the Pandavas. So much insults, how many insults they have faced in their life. But they were trying to move around with all those things and still achieve the highest perfection. That is how we need to be. We should never be envious, never be angry on anything or anybody. It's very important. You see the best example is of a candle. A candle, when it is lit up, It is not that the candle will say, I will give light only to the person who has actually lit me up. Rest everybody, I will not give light. No, he's sama. He is equal. The candle is equal to everyone and distributes light to everyone. Similarly, a tree. If somebody is sitting under the tree, it will give shade to it. And somebody is throwing stones at the tree, it will still give shade to that person also. So it is sama. So we need to be like the candle. We need to be like the tree. And not even sugar cane. There is a farmer who is actually harvesting it, taking care of it. And then the sugar cane will not say that, okay, I'm going to be very sweet to only the farmer and not to the person who's actually putting me into a machine and squeezing out all the juice out of me. I'm going to be bitter to him. No, the sugar cane is sugar cane. It is going to be sweet irrespective of somebody is actually harvesting him nicely or somebody who is actually crushing him. He is going to be sweet, right? So similarly, we also devotees should be sama. We should be like the candle, we should be like the tree, we should be like the sugar cane, and always give our best to everyone who comes around, irrespective of whether they are friends or enemies. It is tough. Practically speaking, it is very tough. It is tough because there is a lot of stuff within us. So once we actually take out all that unwanted stuff from within our heart, then that tough thing is not going to be there. It will not become so tough to practice this samashatrau, samamana, pamanayo. That becomes very, very easy. And of course, shita, ushna, shita, ushna, shita and ushna are two things, heat and cold. Fame and infame is mana, apamana. You know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says that Trinadapi Sunijena Tharo Rivasaishnana Ama Nina Mana Dena Kirtaniya Sadhari. Ama Nina Mana Dena. You give respect to everyone, but don't expect any respect from anyone. So that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's one of the Shikshastakam words. And heat and cold, Shita and Ushna. Now there are so many people, especially when we are going for any outstation, there will be a possibility that it will be very hot, very cold, and you may not have all the right things with you to keep yourself warm or light. So we need to tolerate certain things. A devotee is really undisturbed, whether it is summer or cold. Sometimes so many people, when it becomes too hot in the summer or very cold in the winter, they start cursing the sun. They start cursing the season itself. Oh, what is this, Mother Nature? What is this sun? Is so hot. It's unbearable. We are all so disturbed, and we try to curse the situations around us. Shita and Ushna. A devotee is not like that. He tolerates. He knows that this is a temporary situation. It'll come and go. It'll come and go. We never get disturbed. Many people can't work. They get paralyzed when it's so hot. They say, I don't want to work today. I don't want to take off. It's so hot. I don't want to work. You just imagine if in summertime, if the homemakers at home, they say that it's too hot and I can't be in the kitchen. It's so hot. I don't want to cook. Then what will happen? Some people are so lazy. They don't want to do it. They say, okay, let me order now. It's so hot. Afternoon time, it's lunch time. It's too hot. I will not cook. I will order it from Swiggy or Zomato. Night time, okay, when it becomes a little cold, then I will cook. You know, People are there like that. They find reasons. So, Shita or Ushna, we will just tolerate. Devotees will not disturbed by this. And Sangha Vivarjitaha. Now, Sangha Vivarjita means giving up unwanted association. That is one aspect of it, but it also means giving up unwanted attachments. Sangha Vivarjitaha means we have some desires, very deep rooted desires. And because of these deep rooted desires, we are getting repeated births. Yes, you see, in the case of Bharat Maharaj, he was actually free, but then he got attached to that deer and that developed an attachment to that. And not just an attachment, but a very deep rooted attachment with the deer. And because of the deep attachment for the deer, he ended up thinking of the deer at the point of death. And what he had to happen in the next life, he himself became a deer. So, Sangha Vivarjita means we should give up those deep rooted attachments. And first of all, to identify is most important thing. Anytime when you are free, you should start thinking that what are my deep rooted desires which are holding me back from doing something bhakti or something spiritual. Many times there are some things that will stop you from doing bhakti or devotional service. Then immediately, although on a surface level you may say that, okay, this is the reason that I'm not doing it today because it is too hot or too cold. But when you analyze and go a little deeper, you'll see, oh, actually this is the deep rooted desire. You have to pluck it out. And how do we know all these deep rooted desires within us? Only through jnana, only through the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita. When we discuss all these different aspects of the Bhagavad Gita, these deep rooted desires will, at least, it's like showing a mirror to us, ourselves. When we, Bhagavad Gita is nothing but a mirror. It will show us all our external and internal anarthas, and it will show us our deep rooted desires. It will show us, yeah, this is what it is. This is what is actually you need to cut off. We need to cut off these bonds. We need to cut off these attachments so that we get connected to Krishna. Because of these unwanted attachments, it is leading to repeated births. Like Bharat Maharaj, he took a birth of the deer, and then again he had to take birth of a Jada Bharata. Many times people are so attached to their homes. Once there was a home and there was a house, and above that house there was a tree like this bending. And Prabhupada saw that and said, see this fellow? Prabhupada said this tree was so attached to this home, this house, that he became a tree and now he's trying to give shelter to this tree. When you get attached to the house so much, Prabhupada is saying that you may actually end up becoming a tree, and then you are trying to give shade. You're so attached to it that even in the next life you don't want to. You want to be there and protect that house. So Sangha Vivarjita means giving up the deep rooted desires and also giving up unwanted association. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Asat Sanga Tyaga ye Vaishnava Achara. Asat Sanga Tyaga, Asat Sanga. Definitely, there are some people who are not going to help you in your spiritual progress. They are around you, sometimes unavoidable. You just cannot avoid them, but they are there with you. And you need to actually identify some people like this, all these people like that, and then try to disconnect slowly but gradually. Unwanted people, you should just get rid of them, because these toxic people will never allow you to do bhakti. They will always have their own self interest when they're talking to you. Whenever they talk to you, it's not that they are thinking some good things about you or they want something beneficial for you. Such people are always interested in the self. And when they talk to you, they are always thinking that how can I extract something from you? That is their mode. So, asat sanga. When somebody is not going to help you in your spiritual progress, sanga vivarjitaha. My deep rooted desires, I want to give up, and I will try to give up as soon as possible. And then I will also, as soon as possible, try to give up the unwanted association of people. We should not, because these people, when you talk to them more and more, we get influenced. Our consciousness get influenced. You must have seen that also. When you go to some unwanted parties, sometime you get so disturbed. You come back and then, what am I doing? What did I do there? It drains off when you meet such people. So you don't have to drain your energy. So better sangha vivarjitaha. Identify, be strong, be firm. Because what is more important in human form of life is Krishna is more important. I may give up these people, they may feel bad for a while. Many such people know, actually, when you become a devotee, some materialistic people automatically they will leave you. It is it is a fact. When a person becomes a devotee, they will slowly disconnect with you. So many of my friends and many of the devotees' friends also. When we were in school, colleges, they were like, "Oh, my bestie, you are my best friend." But when you become a devotee, they will automatically give up. "Nahi, I can't be with him." Why? Because they are so materialistic, they cannot be with you. They'll think that, okay, if I become be in his association, then I have to give up all my enjoyments, material enjoyments. Better I give up. So like that, people also will be there. Sangha vivarjita will happen negatively also. Either you give up And there'll be some people who will give up you, who will give you up because they don't want to change themselves. So both ways it is good for us. When you have to become a devotee, it is nice. Sangha vivarjita. Then tulya ninda sutihi. So tulya ninda means facing criticism. So ninda, what happens is tulya, I'll be equal. Tulya means, tulna. So whether somebody is actually fame and infamy is one thing. Whether you people glorifying you and all that, and not glorifying you is okay. Somebody glorifies you, it's okay. Somebody doesn't glorify, it's okay. That is sama, mana, apamana. But tulya ninda, that means there is someone consciously criticizing you. Somebody is waiting for an opportunity to criticize you, just like this Shishupala. He is waiting for an opportunity to criticize Krishna, isn't it? So there are people like that who will criticize us for even the good things that we do in our life. Prabhupada, so much of criticism. He was trying to make Krishna conscious movement, and there was so much criticism from across the world. There were some people here in India, there were some so-called caste brahmanas who used to criticize Prabhupada, say that, oh, he's a sannyasi, but he's going to America. How can a sannyasi step outside India? And a sannyasi involved in performing marriage ceremonies and so many things like that. People used to criticize some people. But Prabhupada was Tulyaninda Stutihi. Prabhupada knew what he's doing. So he knew that for a bigger cause, certain compromises have to be done, which are again not to displease the Guru or Krishna, but to please Prabhupada and Krishna. His own personal comfort, Prabhupada left and he went to the West. Although he knew that people will criticize, he still went because to fulfill the orders of his Guru Maharaj. That is how it is. So tulya ninda stute. So devotees, we should not get when we are criticized by someone. Be equal. Be uh, spiritually try to respond to them. Don't react to criticisms because that will disturb us. Then the sixth is Mauni. Mauni means what? Mauni means, does it mean that, okay, I'm going to follow Maunavrata, I'm not going to talk to anyone? Is that what Mauni means? No. Even in the 17th chapter, 16th verse, Mana prasadaha saumyatvam manusham atma vinigraha bhava samshuddhir iti etat tapo manasam uchyate. So, mana prasada samyat saumyatvam maunam atma vinigraha. Maunam is there. So, what is that maunam? Devotee's qualities and satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self control, and purification of one's existence or austerity of the mind. So, now, very important. Maunam means not that I will not speak at all. It's not that I'm not going to talk to anyone. If I remain a Mauni, then how can I give a class and call myself a devotee? No. Real Mauna, real silence means to speak only about Krishna. To speak about spirituality is real Maunam. Not that I will sit quiet, I'll go sit somewhere in the silent place, Himalayas, and I'll in isolation and not speak to anyone. That is not Maunam. Maunam means, Prabhupada says, speak only about Krishna. And you see, every word, every sentence that Prabhupada spoke was actually about Krishna and Krishna consciousness. That is real Mauna. You see his lectures, you see his audio tapes, you look anywhere, any moment, anytime Prabhupada went anywhere in the world, he spoke about Krishna constantly. That is real speech. That is the best utilization of our tongue. People gossip. Gossip is not maunam. That is unwanted talks, and that it is simply a disturbance in the mind, right? So maunam is the quality of a devotee, which means that a devotee speaks only about Krishna and nothing else, only about spirituality. That is real silence. Okay? Then santushtaha ena kenachit. Santushtaha is very self satisfied. A devotee is not disturbed at all, very satisfied within. I had told you this example also. If you want to climb up a mountain which is having so much of thorns and pebbles, it is difficult to walk barefoot. But if you have a shoe, it is so easy for you to actually walk, isn't it, to climb up the hill. So, similarly, this life is a journey, and there will be thorns, there will be pebbles which may hurt you. But if you wear the shoe of satisfaction, then automatically you will be protected. You can easily walk through your life, even though the disturbances will be there. There will be Shita, Ushna are like pebbles and thorns. Mana, Apamana, they're all like pebbles and thorns. Shatru, Mitra, all these different situations will come. Ninda will come. But when you are santushtaha, you are wearing a shoe of satisfaction, then you will never be disturbed. You will not be disturbed. So we should all have that satisfaction within. And when will we have that satisfaction? Satisfaction comes when you are self situated. You are no more dependent on anything external for your happiness. You will be satisfied. Because all that happiness that you need is within you. But we are right now dependent on something external, and that is why we are so much troubled. We are not satisfied, right? We are trying to get everything possible materially, and we are still not satisfied. This is an indication that, there is no happiness external, happiness is within. So when we focus our attention inwards and try to realize ourselves, satisfaction will come. That is important. We need to stop having that expectation that I will get happiness from external things. It's not possible. External things will never make us happy. It's all there within us. It's just that we need to explore. So when a devotee understands himself and his true nature, that I am the servant of Krishna, he's satisfied. And it is so wonderful just to be satisfied. Just today you sit down and relax and I'm satisfied in my life. Not many people can say this wholeheartedly. They still have some desire. I need this, I want that, I need to do that, I need to get my daughter or son married, many things like that. I'm not satisfied. Not everyone can say this, I'm satisfied in my life. It's very rare thing. Satisfaction is a very rare thing. But the devotee gets this satisfaction because he knows himself. So Bhagavad Gita is what it's doing to us. It is actually satisfying us. We will come to the stage of satisfaction when we know this knowledge automatically. So all that we need to do is actually gain this knowledge. Once you gain this knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita and practice it, satisfaction is guaranteed. Nothing else is required actually. Aniketaha. Aniketaha means without any residence. What does this mean, Aniketa? Many times you know that people have the homes named Shanti Niketan. Niketan. Niketan means what? Home. Shanti Niketan, Lakshmi Niketan, or it is Krishna Niketan. Means what? It is a place of residence. Niketan means a place of residence. Aniketan. Aniketa means no place of residence. That means a devotee will not stay or will not have any residence. That means all the homes that we have, should we give up and then become homeless? Like there were Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, they never had any fixed residence anytime. Today they'll stay under one tree, tomorrow they are under another tree, and next day another tree, next day another tree. They never stayed under the same tree thinking that if I stay under the same tree, I may get attached. See the kind of vairagya. Now that is Goswami Prabhuji. You are expecting us to be like this, from tree to tree we have to keep shifting? No. There were devotees, great devotees like Amrish Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. They stayed in palaces. They were still devotees. And they did everything wonderfully when it came to bhakti. So there are devotees who are not even staying under one tree in a single, and then there are devotees who are staying in palaces. So how is this contrast? There is a contrast now. Aniketaha is what is mentioned here, But we see there are people who are really not having a residence, and there are also devotees who are having big, big palaces. So is that not a contradictory? No, it's not contradiction. What Aniketaha means is, if you ask Amrish Maharaj to go and stay under a banyan tree or any other tree, he is very happy. And if you ask Goswamis that you go and stay in a palace, they are still happy. Means they really don't care whether they are in palace or they are under tree. They really are not attached. That is Aniketaha. It's not that you have to become homeless. But although you are in a home, I'm not attached to it. I'm not attached to the fixed residences. Somehow in the last 20 years, I should tell you, since I joined my college, since then, I just have lost the count of the number of houses I have stayed. I just have no fixed residence. So many places I have stayed. I just have no idea. Been even now in the last 1 year, so many changes. There is no fixed residence. Maybe this is Krishna's mercy or whatever it is. I have no fixed residence. Constantly something is other will change. I'm sometimes, in Hubli, sometimes Bangalore, sometimes Mumbai, sometimes no fixed residence. So I'm forced to follow this principle of Aniketa. So Krishna is saying, I will not give you fixed residence so that you don't become attached. So that is how it is. Really, I have lost count. It is so many houses I've stayed in last 20 years. Okay, so then Sthiramatir. Sthiramatir means very fixed intelligence and determination. Fixed intelligence and determination. So, as a devotee, practicing devotee, it is important that we have a strong determination, dridhavrataha, not changing our determination that, okay, maybe Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Maybe he is there who is some power who will protect me. He is taking care of me. Maybe he is there. No question of maybe. Stira Matir means a devotee knows 100% Krishna is there and he will protect me all the time. He will take care of my needs. That 100% belief, that faith is there that Krishna will protect. That is determination. Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. No matter what situation, Krishna will protect me. That is Tiramatir. That kind of confidence we need to have in the Lord's presence, that Krishna will protect me. That determination is important. So a devotee will have all these wonderful qualities, and these are all priyaha to Krishna. Wonderful. These are all certain qualities we may try to revisit and understand and try to implement in our life day to day. Please remember all this. Be equal to enemies. Samashatrau cha mitrecha. Sama manapamanayoho. Shitoshna sukha dukkeshu. Anytime the season changes, okay, ठीक है, I'll tolerate. Then Sangha Vivarjitaha, deep rooted attachments and giving unwanted association. Tulyaninda, people will criticize, tolerate them. Mauni, speak only about Krishna. Santushta, be very satisfied. Aniketaha, don't get attached to any fixed place of residence. Then Sthiramatir, be very determined that Krishna will protect at any question, at any point of time. That is the thing. Then, Dev, unmute yourself. Let's chant the next verse number 20, and that's the final verse today. Okay, yeah. It's a very wonderful verse today. This is the last verse, but it is so wonderful. Krishna is explaining something very important here in this verse number 20. Okay? Etu dharmamritamidam
ये तु धर्मामृतमिदम्
yatoktam paryupasate
यतोक्तं पर्युपासते
shraddhana matparama
श्रद्धाना मत्परमा
bhaktastetiva me priyaha.
भक्तास्तेऽतीव मे प्रियः
Once again, wonderful. Etu dharmamritamidam
ये तु धर्मामृतमिदम्
yatoktam paryupasate
यथोक्तं पर्युपासते
shraddhana matparama
श्रद्दधाना मत्परमा
भक्तास्तेतिव मे प्रियः.
भक्तास्तेऽतीव मे प्रियः.
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Hmm. Very nice. So, such a wonderful words Krishna is saying here. Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service, then who are completely engaged themselves with faith, Shraddha, making me the supreme, then they're very, very dear to me. So, very nice. A2. Krishna is starting here. A2 means kintu. Like, there are many words like this. Yata tata, yada tada, right? So, like that, A2 means kintu. From verse number 13 to verse number 19, Krishna explained all the wonderful qualities of devotees who are Siddha Bhakta. That means those who have achieved perfection. Those who have achieved perfection, all those qualities of perfect devotees was mentioned from verse number 13th to 19th. But in verse number 20, Krishna is saying kintu, A2. Very, very important to understand now. That means he's saying there is a change now that is happening. Just like now, when you want to give a certain change of uh, understanding to a certain statement, then you say but, right? Like today now Mataji has made some sabudana, right? Sabudana is really very nice, but the salt is less. So this is how, sabudana khichdi is very nice, but the salt is very less. So Krishna is also saying that yes, all these wonderful qualities from verse number 13 to 19 are actually are the qualities of Siddha Purusha, Siddha Bhaktas. But he's saying A too. But what is that? Dharmamritamidam. So that we have to understand. So dharmamritamidam, dharmyamritamidam also sometimes. So both are equal. We don't have to change anything. They actually mean the same thing. Yatoktam paryupasate. So now, see, we need to understand. Krishna is saying that all these people who are actually have achieved perfection, Siddha Bhaktas, they are very priya to me, but Dharmamritamidam, those devotees who are sadhaka bhaktas, that means they look up to these Siddha bhaktas and they want to actually emulate them. They want to follow in the footsteps of such Siddha bhaktas are very, very important to me. Why? Because Shraddhadhana, Shraddha, Matparama, and they are bhaktas. They are trying to be bhaktas. And what is Shraddhadhana? Now, you see, in this very chapter, verse number second, Krishna said, Sri Bhagavanu Vacha, Mai Aveshya Mano Emam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Paryopetas Te Me Yukta Tamamataha. Shraddha is the quality. It's a faith, a strong faith in the Lord. Shraddha we need to have. Forget about Shraddha on Krishna, Shraddha in spiritual life. You need to have faith even for regular materialistic activities. When you sit in a bus, you have that faith that the driver has a license, isn't it? When you get into a plane, you know that the pilot, at least, you have that full faith that the pilot is appointed by the authorities and he can fly the plane. With that faith, you get into the plane. Not that every time you get into the plane, you go and knock the cockpit and then please show me your license, whether you have the license to fly or not. You're not going to ask. You have faith. So when you go to a doctor, you have faith that yes, this doctor will give me medicine and then I will take and I'll get well, right? So even to just take medicine, you need to have faith in the doctor, and the medicine will work. Many times more than the medicine, the faith works. Faith will cure our disease, isn't it? So similarly, there are devotees, sadhakas, all of us, who have not achieved the perfection, but we want to achieve perfection, and we look up to the Siddha Bhaktas. So Krishna is saying Shraddha is important. And very interestingly, Bhakta is mentioned in this verse. Why Krishna is mentioning about Bhakta, Bhaktaste Tivame Priya? Because Arjuna, in the very first sloka of this verse, what did he say? Arjuna Huvacha Evam Satata Yukta E Bhaktas Tvam Parjupasate E Chapyaksharam Avyaktam Tesham Ke Yoga Vittamaha. So, what did he say? Bhaktas Tvam Parjupasate. Which of the devotee is considered to be the best? That was Arjuna's question, right? And what did Krishna say immediately? Those who have full faith in me, O Arjuna, are very dear to me. Those with faith who worship me are very dear to me. The Shraddha is important. So now Krishna, he has not forgotten Arjuna's question. Arjuna started with Bhakta. Krishna in the 20th verse, in the last verse, he is again stating Bhakta ste tivame priya. See the connection, right? So Krishna perfectly answers. That's why this is an indication to all of us, not just this particular question of Arjuna, all the 13 questions in the Bhagavad Gita that Arjuna has asked, Krishna has perfectly answered them, not just for Arjuna's benefit, but for also our benefit. So Shraddha. And now in case if we don't have Shraddha, we don't have faith, then what will happen to us? See, this is very nicely explained in the ninth chapter we discussed. Ashraddhana Purushaha Dharmasyasya Parantapa Aprapyamam Nivartante Mrityu Samsara Vartmani. If someone has no Shraddha, Ashraddhana, then what will happen? Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me. They will not attain me. Mrityu samsara vartmani. What they will attain? Mrityu samsara. They will attain only the Mrityu samsara. Right? So faith is important in bhakti. If we don't have faith in Krishna, then how can we achieve his position? How can we actually go to the spiritual world? So faith is important. If you can have faith in the pilot and then get yourself transported from Bangalore or Mumbai to America, if similarly, if you can have faith in Guru and Krishna, who are like pilots and co-pilots, then they will actually transport you from this material world to the spiritual world. That is why Krishna is saying, please have faith. You need to have Shraddha. Without Shraddha, it doesn't work. And that Shraddha comes through knowledge. It comes with knowledge. It's very important. So, Krishna is saying here that Mat Parama means one who is fully situated, completely engaged themselves with faith, making me the supreme. Mat Parama, Param Purushaha. Krishna is Param Purushaha. So Krishna is saying that I become the goal of such devotees who make me the supreme goal. They are very dear to me. Not just dear to me, but very, very dear to me. This is very important verse. Now, I'll tell you, this is so important that we see that how Krishna is so merciful actually. There is so much of compassion that he has. You just see, please analyze that, when Krishna was talking in the 13th verse and 14th verse, he stated that he ended with saying what? Yo mat bhakta same priyaha. He was saying such devotees are priya to me. Then in the 15th verse he said mukto ya sachame priyaha. He said that yes, such devotees are again priya to me. Again in 16th verse he said yo mat bhakta same priyaha. 17th he said bhaktiman yes same priyaha. They are also very priya to me. Bhaktiman me priyo naraha, that we understood in the 18th and the 19th verse. But in the 20th verse, there is a change. In 13th to 19th verse, he was stating that the qualities of the Siddha Bhaktas is all priya to me. They're all very, very priya to me, dear to me. They're all devotees who are very priya to me. But Kintu Bhaktaste Tivame Priya is mentioning in the 20th. He's saying the sadhakas are very, very, very dear to him. Now, Prabhu, is that not a contradiction? Why is Krishna stating that the Siddha Purushas, the Siddha Bhaktas are priya to me, but the sadhakas are more, very much priya to me? Just see, this is compassion. Why is this like that? Why the river is flowing in the opposite direction now? Isn't it? Krishna is just so wonderful. This is what we have to understand. So our Acharya has explained that all those perfected beings, they are dear to Krishna. But those who are sadhakas, who are walking the path of spirituality, are even more priya to Krishna. They're even more dear to Krishna. Why? Because number one is for all the Siddha Bhaktas have attained Krishna. They have already attained Krishna. And after attaining Krishna, they are doing their devotional service. But to have faith and still continue devotional service is not an easy task. And Krishna identifies this. He knows that it is not so easy to have Shraddha on me, especially when you have not attained me. No, you have attained me, then it's easy to follow Krishna's path. But you have not attained me, but still with faith you are practicing bhakti. There are ups and downs. In devotee's life, there are so many ups and downs. But still, you have that faith, Krishna will protect. One day I will achieve my goal. Ek din hum honge kamyab. That kind of a mood is there with you, within you. That mood, that yes, one day I will attain Krishna, that mood is identified by Krishna, and Krishna says, because they still have so much of ups and downs, still they have faith in me, I recognize, and because of that, they are very, very dear to me. And all the Siddha Bhaktas, for Siddha Bhaktas, they are like Krishna's grown up children. And the sadhakas are like small babies. Naturally, we are more attracted to small babies, small children than the grown up children. The parents also, isn't it? So, similarly, Krishna is actually very, very, very compassionate, and he is attracted to the sadhakas. Why? Because they're taking baby steps now in bhakti. So, when somebody is taking baby steps, Krishna is very, very happy with them, because when a child is walking, sometimes falls down, and he holds some table chair and climbs up, and then he's trying to walk, it's a joy to see all that. So Krishna actually enjoys when somebody is trying to take a bhakti like that, taking baby steps in bhakti. They become very dear to Krishna. So that is another reason. And also there is another very important reason. See, for the Siddha Bhaktas, for the devotees who have attained perfection, Krishna has given them that darshan. He has given them that darshan. Yes, I have given a darshan to them, and he is feeling satisfied. Krishna is feeling satisfied. Okay, they did bhakti, and I have given them darshan. But here, Krishna feels indebted. Why? Because all these people are doing bhakti, they are doing sadhaka, they are trying to please me, and I have still not given them darshan. I have not given them darshan. Still, they are doing so much of bhakti for me, to please me. So Krishna feels indebted sometimes. And that's why such devotees are very, very dear to Krishna. So, if you overall, the gist of this whole verse, this verse number 20 is so beautiful that Krishna is saying that sadhakas are more dear to me than the Siddha Bhaktas. That means for all of us, we should take our sadhana very seriously. When we actually perform our sadhana nicely, we are pleasing Krishna. So that is why we should take full advantage of all the facilities that we have today in this human form of life and try to engage ourselves completely in devotion so that we can become bhaktas te tivame priyaha. Not just bhakta, but ati priya. Sadhakas are ati priya for Krishna. So that ati priya we should attain. That state of ati priya for Krishna we should develop. So this is so wonderful actually. So whole this 12th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti Yoga, we have thoroughly understood in so many different aspects and different angles. Of course, we cannot call it as thorough because it's unlimited, but at least to some extent we have gone deeper into different aspects of Bhakti Yoga. And if at least some of these qualities that Krishna has mentioned from verse number 13 to 20, that will be amazing. We really need to actually try to imbibe these 38 or 40 qualities that Krishna has explained in these verses. And in this week, at least try to follow just two qualities. That itself will give you so much of satisfaction. That will make you so happy. So, with this, I have shared a few wonderful things about chapter number 12. And today we have actually completed verse number 20. And from next session, we are going to stand a brand new session with new chapter, that is 13th chapter. So, if you have any questions with respect to 12th chapter today, please feel free to ask. Thank you so much, everyone who is joining on YouTube. If you have any questions, you can please leave your questions on the comment section. I'll try to answer them. If you have any questions, please feel. आपका कोई अगर प्रश्न है तो आप comment section में लिख सकते हैं and I can try to answer them. So this is very important. Bhakti yoga. We have so much to understand and follow and implement in our life, and we will truly become happy. There is no doubt about it. You just try to imbibe these qualities, you will for sure become happy. This is the secret of happiness. Bhagavad Gita is the secret of happiness. There is no other way we can be happy. Knowledge will lead to happiness. And if you can see and practice all these wonderful qualities, nothing like that. The taste of the pudding is in eating. So implement, not just hearing, but implementing. Right? Any questions? All right. So in the next session, we will start a new session that is a brand new chapter, was chapter number 13. There are many wonderful, lot of technicalities will begin now. Lot of wonderful technical aspects of the Bhagavad Gita will start because uh, 18 chapters are there. The first 6 chapters, they explain about different types of yogas: karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, sankhya yoga. All these yogas are mentioned in the first 6 chapters. In the middle 6 chapters is about the bhakti yoga, all different aspects of the Lord and the opulences of the Lord and bhakti yoga. Now the last 6 chapters will actually talk about, Krishna is going to explain more about the prakriti, the time, the interaction between the three modes, and many such technical philosophical aspects will come. And I think this will be the toughest section of the Bhagavad Gita, but we will try to understand more and more. So the last 6 chapters, which we are going to start from the next session, will be very, very important because a lot of philosophical aspects will be discussed. So next session, we will begin with chapter number 13. Until then, please take care. Thank you everyone for joining on YouTube as well as on StreamYard. We will see you again next Sunday. Please take care. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.